Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So I'm going to show you guys a few clips and interviews from Joe Biden over the last few months or so, and these are the worst of the worst. So there are some people on social media calling for Joe Biden to step down for no other reason than they know he is not well. We see something, we know something's going on. Like we'll see interviews where he's incoherent, he's searching for his words, he can't put a sentence together. We see that. But what they see is something familiar. So they've had people in their family with dementia. So they see something, they know something's going on, and they swear Joe Biden has at least the early stages of dementia. They described it all kinds of ways in detail. But one thing that stuck with me, because I see it now too, now that they mention it, it's a vacant stare. It's an empty stare. It's like his eyes are dark. Is he there? Are the lights on? Are you there, Joe? Are you not? Have you ever spoken with someone who's elderly and you ask them a question or something, and they look off into space for a minute, searching for their words? You don't know if they're going to reply. That's where Joe Biden is. Joe Biden is almost 80 years old. Does he want to run this country? Think of what an enormous job that is. There are some people at Joe Biden's age that are sharp. Okay, let's take Donald Trump, whether you like him or not. Trump is sharp. Does he want to run this country? Everybody can answer that question. Absolutely, yes. Trump has that fire. He wants to run the country because Trump, whether you believe it or not, thinks he can do the best job for us, for America. He loves America. He wants to run the country the best he can. He wants to do this job, is what I'm saying. Does Joe Biden want to run this country? Does he want to be president? Does he know he can step down? Is he afraid to step down? Is he ashamed to step down? Do the people around him see what we see and just don't care? In fact, I know they see what we see. That is why they keep him away from all questions in all interviews. Even the press conference today, he was given the questions in advance. He even admitted that at the beginning of the press conference. And he had the answers written down. He had the questions, he had the answers. All he did was read. No one said he couldn't read. But how is he going to debate Donald Trump? We'll see. Anyway, let's take a look at these clips and look for the signs, these same signs that people are seeing that is telling them that Joe Biden is not well.
Why in God's name don't we teach history in history classes? A black man invented the light bulb, not a white guy named Edison. Okay? There's so much. Did anybody know before what's recently happened? That Black Wall Street in Oklahoma was burned to the ground? Anybody know these things? We act because we don't teach them. And we're finally now getting to the point we're going to be addressed the original sin of this country. 400 years old. It's the original sin. Slavery. And all the vestiges of it. I'm not saying in 4 years.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. I mean, you think about it. More lives this year than any other year for the past 100 years. More than 180,000 lives in just.
All men and women created by you know the thing. You know how we talk about it. Are we the people? Folks, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights.
And a cognitive
No,
test.
I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying you, before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
What do you say to President Trump?
Did you watch that? Look, come on, man. I know you're trying to goad me, but I mean, I'm so forward looking to have an opportunity to sit with the president or stand with the president in debates. There's going to be plenty of time. And by the way, as I joke with him, you know, I shouldn't say it. I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say. Anyway, I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness, and to make a judgment about who I am.
Some have speculated, sir, that you are subject to some degree of cognitive decline. I'm 65. I don't have word recollection that I used to have. I forget my train of thought from time to time. You got 12 years on me, sir. Have you been tested for some degree of cognitive decline?
I've been tested, and I'm constantly tested. Look, all I got to do is watch me, and I can hardly wait to compare my cognitive capability to the cognitive capability of the man I'm running against. Thank you so much. And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did, and back in those days, to show how things have changed, one of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap. And so he was up on the board, wouldn't listen to me. I said, "Hey, Esther, you, off the board, or I'll come up and drag you off." Well, he came off, and he said, "I'll meet you outside." My car, these were all public housing behind it. My car, there was a gate out here. I parked my car outside the gate. And he said, "I'll be waiting for you." He was waiting for 3 guys in straight razors. Not a joke. There was a guy named Bill Wright, Mouse, the only white guy, and he did all the pools. He was the mechanic. And I said, "What am I going to do?" He said, "Come down here in the basement where all the pool filter is. You know the chain, there used to be a chain that went across the deep end. And he cut off a 6-foot length of chain. He folded up, he said, "You walk out with that chain. And you walk to the car and say, 'You may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head.'" I said, "You kidding me?" He said, "No, if you don't come back." And he was right. So I walked out with the chain. And I walked up to my car. And in those days, you used to remember the straight razor. You'd bang them on the curb, get them rusty, put them in a rain barrel, get them rusty. And I looked at him, but I was smart then. I said, first of all, I said, when I tell you to get off the board, you get off the board, and I'll kick you out again, but I shouldn't have called you Esther Williams. I apologize for that. I apologize, but I didn't know that apology was going to work. He said, "You apologize to me?" I said, "I apologize for that, not for throwing you out, but I apologize for what I said." He said, "Okay," closed the straight razor, and my heart began to beat again. I came down here because I remember the first bumper sticker. And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. And I tell you what, one hunky's just as bad as any other. I'll take whoever you send me. And here's what I want to tell you about Earl. Here's what I tell you about. Feel like saying.
No, go ahead. Don't resist it. Go ahead, Mr. Vice President.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to try to, assign names and insults to the stable genius. This is a guy who doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to run the country. He is making us more unsafe the way he's responding to the coronavirus. He has done virtually nothing well that I can see. And so I can hardly wait to debate him on stage. I want people to see me standing next to him and him standing next to me. We'll see who's sleepy.
Vice President, thank you. Thanks for your time. Please come back in less than 13 years, sir.
All right, Chuck. Thank you very much.
All right. It's Chris, but anyway.
Chris. I just did Chris. No, I just did Chuck. I tell you what, man, these are back to back. Anyway.
No, it's
I don't
okay.
know how you do it early in the morning, too.
Safe travels on the campaign trail. Thank you, sir. In our interview last week with President Trump, he questioned whether his Democratic opponent, Joe Biden, could handle a similar encounter. Well, this week we asked the Biden campaign for an interview, and they said the former vice president was not available. We'll keep asking every week. The fact is, the president is out there. He sat there in this broiling heat with me for an hour, took all the questions. You can like his answers or dislike them, but he had answers. And Joe Biden hasn't faced that kind of scrutiny, hasn't faced that kind of exposure. You got to feel at some point he's going to come out from the basement. I know he's done a few events, but pretty selected and oftentimes just reading from a teleprompter. He's going to have to be more exposed and take questions just as tough as the ones I asked this president.
No, words matter a lot. And I got the point across. You're the only guys that didn't understand it.